Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to today's video. Now, if you know me and you watch these videos, you'll know one of my favourite things in the world is a cheap air pistol. And there is nothing better than taking a cheap air pistol and trying to turn it into an expensive air pistol, or indeed playing dressy ups with the guns. You'll have noticed there are several in the history of this channel. If you go back and look, you'll find several videos that's just me playing with my rifles and my scopes, trying to match up the perfect scope to the perfect gun. And that's kind of where we're going with this. And it's midday, as you might be able to hear. The bells are going crazy on the church up on the top of the hill, but anyway, we shall persevere. Yeah, I'll take it as a blessing from God that we are making this video now. Anyway, so the best cheap air pistol, one of the best cheap air pistols, is undoubtedly the Crosman 2240. We all know it. It's a fantastic CO2 powered gun. Full UK power, near enough, in 2.2, bolt action, single shot, cheap as chips. I think they're about 120 quid now, something like that. They've been around for donkey's years and they just work. It's a very nice pistol. So looking at a very nice cheap pistol like this, you think, how can I make this more expensive? We used to be able to buy all kinds of different steel bits and things and this, that and the other for it from a company called Gojng, who are no longer supplying, certainly the UK. I'm not sure if they've gone out of business altogether. But then Crosman brought out this. Now this really is it my favourite air pistol at the moment? It might be. I just want to cuddle it and love it and look after it, and it is bloody gorgeous. It's a Crosman 2240 XL. Now, if you go back through the history, find the first video of this, you'll see me take it apart, take off the barrel band at the front there, change a few bits, and there's opinions on it and stuff like that. But this one I have chrono today is running at 5.7 foot-pounds with exact heavies, 18 grains, which is 380 feet a second. So now this is a bit convoluted. This is a bit of a tenuous link. A tenuous link, because I'm going to go back to, it is not cocked or loaded or anything, just to let you know while I'm playing with it like that. Old magazines are one of my favourite things. Shooting in the 1980s when I was a teenager is the heyday for me, the nostalgic glory years of my shooting. We couldn't get the 2240 in the UK then because it was still on ticket, because CO2s were on ticket due to, allegedly, a loophole in the law because they've emitted a noxious gas. It made them a firearm. So we had the Crosman 1377, the pump-up one, which was great. It's every bit as good as this, but a little bit of dancing, you needed music to use it. And then they had one called the Backpacker, whose number escapes me. Was it a 2486? I don't know. If you can remember what the Backpacker was, leave a comment below. But that was a slightly longer barreled version of the 1377, but with a carbine stock and a bit larger forend to make it easier to pump up, and you could take the stock off the back, put it in a backpack, hence the name Backpacker. And to me then, that was the ultimate. You can put it in your backpack, you can go, it's light, it's recoil free, it's a pump up, all kinds of stuff like that. And in my mind it was going to be awesome. I did have one. It was okay. It was a Crosman. I mean, they're nothing great, but nowadays we have the 2240, we have the 2240 XL, we still have the 1377s, and we have these. The stock, the Crosman, is only about 15 quid, I think. The Crosman stock that fits onto the gun in place of the grips there and turns it into a mini carbine, which is massively exciting. To me at least. The only problem I've ever found with this is the eye relief to your scope. You find yourself having to kind of go like that to get onto your scope, where your natural point is back here. So it's not as great as it could be. But today I'm going to make it great. I'm going to make it great. You're going to like this, or you're going to think I'm daft. You're probably right. You are probably right. But you will remember a week or two back, I put my DNT Hydra HS225 thermal unit onto my HW30 for my Volmageddon problem. We have vols coming out of our wazoo here. And that is working great. It is working lovely. But this morning I went down to the Susol, to the basement, to get a pistol to play with because the temperatures are up. I thought I'll get a CO2 pistol, I'll start having a play. In the winter they're a little bit less powerful, in the summer they're quite pokey. So I went down for this, I saw that and I thought, here's an idea. Now, apart from the DNT Hydra, DNT have also sent me a Thermite and a Zulus scope for testing as well. These are just for testing, they're all going back, so I'm using them as much as possible before they all go back. But I also have from Oneleaf.AI this Mars MT1000lrf thermal scope. Now, it would be very unfair to compare this to the Hydra, the DNT Hydra, because the DNT Hydra you can get for £799 with the discount code on that video that I put out. The cheapest version of this is £1,000, just over. It's $1,300 I think. So it's just over £1,000 for the cheapest. And this one I have here with the two lenses is closer to 16 or 1700 I think from memory. I'll put a link below. I'll put a link to this one here below. Links for the DNT ones are in the DNT videos. So this scope, with all the bits that I have with it, is probably worth 10 times that. But I'm going to put it on anyway because I can. So that's what we're doing today. We're playing dressy up with a cheap air pistol and putting the most expensive thing I have in my scope drawer onto it. And I will say again, as I did with the DNTs, this has been sent to me for testing. I have not bought it. That does not mean to say I'm not going to keep it. I'm unsure yet. With the DNT ones, they've sent me 3. I'm probably going to keep one of them. I don't know which one, but I do like this. Now, the reason I like this so much, and you will see this when we do this video, the clarity of this thermal unit, it's kind of like, because I like it on one of the things is called white hot. So the hottest parts turn up white, and it's just in monochrome. It's just black, white, and shades of grey. More than 50, I expect. But the clarity is such that the detail is amazing, and I think I can use this in the daytime as well. We're going to have a go. We're going to have a play. And another thing I like about this one, because we're only throwing pellets out at 380 feet a second, and because the scope's going to be sitting up here somewhere, they're going to be like that. But the LRF in the MT1000 LRF stands for laser rangefinder, and this has a laser rangefinder built in and clever electricity inside of it that moves the crosshair so that whatever I point it at, it will mark my hold under or hold over at any distance. That's going to be a feat, isn't it? If it can do that on an air pistol with a thermal unit turned into a carbine, we could have the ultimate rat here. Short range. My intention is to mount this. I don't know. I'm probably going to set a 0 for, what do you reckon? 7 meters, 10 meters? And then maybe keep it at a 20 meter maximum. I don't know, we'll have to do some testing on accuracy to see what would be its maximum. But if we were to set it at 10 and then set targets out and laser rangefind them and see if the reticle part moves up and down between 10 and 20. I've seen lots of people do this. People do this because they fit these scopes. That'll go on a centre fire, it'll go on a 308. People will be shooting at hundreds of metres. Yeah, nobody's put it on a cheap air pistol. This is a world first. Call Norris McGuirter. Get him on the phone. So, yes, we're going to mount that onto this. That's what we're doing today. That took a long time to explain, didn't it? I'll be speedy now. I will. Now, because of all the bits I have here, I have lots of joining bits to go in between. Inside the box that comes with this scope, you will find a scope mount, a Picatinny scope mount there, and very nice it is too. But Oneleaf Oneleaf.AI. There's my moderator. I'll put you over there. Oneleaf.AI also sent me a tactical mount. Now, this tactical mount is very similar to the standard mount, but it's more tactical because it's got the quick release doodads on the side there. Right, that is exciting. It's an optional extra. They sent it to me for testing. Thank you very much, Oneleaf. We do have instructions in here. I'm just going to have a quick look at these, see what they are. Tactical LQD mount specifications: aluminium, black, Picatinny 20mm, dimensions 147 by 47 by 20, weight 86.5 grams. Operating: A, push the lens buckle forward to keep it still, get out the handle. B, rotating handle adjust to fit the Picatinny rails. C, adjust the position of the nut and pin for optimal locking. That's it. Simple. I like that. So what we need to do, because that is a Picatinny rail, that is a dove rail, I have got here a dove rail to Picatinny rail adapter. We are adding height. Everything I put on this is adding height. There is a chance that I'm going to need a step ladder to look through this once I've fitted it, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. We'll do that up. Now, if you see wasps flying in front of the screen or landing in front of me, they're not actually, well, they're a type of wasp. They're called gwep. That's what they're called here. And they are a type of wasp, but they're not particularly aggressive. You watch, one will sting me now. But they're not particularly aggressive, which is nice. So we just kind of leave them to it. So that goes onto there. They come around there. Oh, do you know what? That's perfect. Straight off. Absolutely no movement in that whatsoever. So I will, there's a little releasey lever there. Take him forward, take him forward. We'll take this back off. We'll mount the stock. That's what we're going to do next. We're going to take the grips off. We're going to put the stock on. Then we'll mount. I've got to do it in the right order. You can tell, I expect, that this is something I decided to do. Oh, here's my magnetic screw holder, look. This is something I decided to do about 10 minutes ago. I was getting out a toy to play, an air pistol to play with. I started thinking thermal, carbine, and I started thinking, well, maybe somebody else would like to see that as well. I'm excited. You know, there's got to be other people as daft as me. Not as many, but there'll be some. And this should now simply slide into place thusly. I don't do any of the prep before. I don't even really think about it beforehand. You can probably tell. Again, I watched a video, a shooting strip down video for a gun I've got to strip down. And it was one of these videos where people put it on YouTube and it's just a series of photographs. Going from photograph to photograph with music in the background. Don't you hate that? It's like, well, I want to do a YouTube video, but I hate the sound of my voice on the video. Everybody hates the sound of my voice in real life, so why not on the video? I'm okay with that, you know. So that's on there, and as you can see, that's a long way back. And if you've got a cheek weld on there, you're low down. But I'm going to be up here, I'm probably looking at it through like that. Maybe even with both eyes. I don't know. It depends how far back I can actually get the scope mounted. So there is that. Well, while we're here, let's take off the plastic protective cap. They are tight. That is tight. That is a very tight thing to take off. And I'm going to be using an AIM Sport moderator. It doesn't do an awful lot to reduce the noise, if I'm honest. But all my quiet ones are on rimfires at the moment, or PCPs, where it actually makes a big difference. So on this, it's just because it looks cool. Look at all the little holes in the front there. That's so cool. I wish it worked. I've got a couple of them. I wish they worked. That'd be so great. Okay, so that is that. Now I have to attach this to that. Now, one thing I'll say about this, I think I mentioned it on the first video I did on this scope. The holes in this are the correct size to mount on a bipod, a tripod, sorry. You know when you get a tripod, there's always that thing to attach a camera to. These are the same thread, so that is great. Which means you can use it for, and I do use it for, spotting. I go down the lakes looking for animals and stuff like that. just for looking, not for any other reason, just for looking. And with this one in particular, a koi pew at 50 metres with this, you can see it's a koi. You can see his little whiskers. It's thermal is still very exciting to me. I have mentioned it before more than once, but I fully expected thermal to be orange blocks with a yellow outline on a blue background. Do you remember the Ready Brek adverts? I was expecting that kind of thing, all fuzzy, all murky. But what I'm actually getting is very, very clear pictures with huge amounts of detail, which is why I'm thinking I can use this during the day. We will see. We'll see. But with the laser rangefinder and the ballistic calculating reticle, if that's what it's called, you know more. Most people watching this who have an interest in these things know more about this than I do. I'm 2 or 3 weeks into using thermal or night vision stuff of any sort, so this is all spectacular to me. It's like I'm still like a kid on Christmas morning. So that goes onto there, that goes onto there. Do the back one up first, then the front one. That's locked into position. Now if the power button's on the side there, you'll hear a... No, we won't. Oh, it's already on. It's already on. I've turned it off, that's why. I've been looking at things through this before I press play, obviously. So, turn it on. There you are. Sounds like a shutter going in a camera. I've got my little screen. Little screen, so there we go. And we are up and running. So, my face is not... What's that? It's a dog toy. Just saw something glowing up there. That's a funny shape. Yeah, it's a dog toy. It's a Tonka or JCB, I think. Dog toy with 2 like rubber rings intersected in together. That's why it's a funny shape. So that is it on there. And looking through it, my position is, yeah, I can rest my chin on there just to keep it still. Give it a 3rd point of contact. That's quite easy to hold still, and it's quite easy to see in there. Now, I do have... in my box of tricks, this little rubber eye cup. I'm not sure if I'm going to need it. Let's have a little look and see. Oh, it's a cyclist. Do you know what? That's probably easier. It's just taking out the ambient light from around the edges. And that is the 50mm lens. And because I'm going to be, or intend to be, using this primarily at up to 20 meters. That's what I've got in my mind at the moment. I'm going to swap over to the 35mm lens, which takes it down from a starting point of 2.8 times magnification to 2 times magnification. Now the 2.8 and the 2 times, now it's on 2 times, it's on 2 times magnification. I've also got digital magnification inside of there, so I can have it up to 40 times magnification, but only 2 is optical, the rest is digital. So on 2, really you don't want to be going more than 2 or 3 times that, because that's when the picture will start. I'll show you when we're inside. Let me just I've pressed the button there we go. So I'm looking through there now. Focus that. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to start recording for a bit inside of this, so you can see what I'm seeing and what I'm talking about, and then it'll make much more sense. Right, we're recording. Let's have a little look around. There's my gates with the bins next to the gates. Trees. Now it's just, as I go to different distances, I need to do a different focus. So that's next door's trees. Then up there, at the beginning we heard the church. That's 800 metres away. In fact, let's see how far away it is. Let's range find him. Where's my rangefinder? Come on. okay, maybe I can't laser range find while I'm recording. Oh, that was a pigeon just flew across. I could tell that was a wood pigeon. That's how clear that is. I have discovered I can't do many things while I'm recording with this. I can't, for example, go into the setup and show you the menus, and it would appear I also can't use the rangefinder while I'm recording, which is a shame. That's next door's government. You can clearly see chain link fencing there. Look at it. Absolutely astounding. And then we've got on the horizon over there, those white dots, near enough in the crosshairs. That's a water treatment plant that they're doing work on at the moment. That's 4 miles away. Look at the detail. Now I'm going to stop recording now because my shoulder's starting to ache holding this up, even though it's so light. Oh, before that, here goes another wood pigeon. Wow, look at that. Okay, now I couldn't show you me zeroing it because it wouldn't record then, but I've now got it working with the rangefinder on, and it is now recorded. That's brilliant. So I set my scope height to 7.7 centimeters, about 3 inches. I've set a few other parameters and I've zeroed it at 9 meters. And as I go to different distances, you'll see that little crosshair going up and down. Now, because it's such a high scope height, I've actually got from, where are we? Let's start it off 7 points. So you can see on the right hand side there, I should be able to, the distance. So that's 10 meters away, and it's above the target right the way out to, let's bring it back down, back on there, 21 meters. So it's actually above. We've got hold under all the way out to 21 meters. So it's hold over under 10, hold under after 10 up to 22. So my primary zero is 10 meters, my secondary zero is 22 meters, and if I look at the wall over there, that is 32 meters away, and I've got an aim point now. Oh, that'd be interesting. Let's see if I can kick up some dust and see if that's actually correct. So that's just about there. Oh, now that's fun. So you're going to get a bit of jiggling now because I'm going to reload. Oh. Excuse the schoolboy like excitement. I'm like an excited schoolboy. So here, yeah, bob on. Let's have a little look, see what we've got somewhere. Oh, get the pellet in there. Somewhere in the mid-range where it's over 26. It's under again at 26. I'm looking for sub 21. There you go. So let's find a nice clear bit of. Yeah, do you know what? That's clever. That is clever. What's that over there by my backstop? Anything there that's glowing up? Tell you what, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go and get some ice cubes. That'll work. Right, I've put some ice cubes out, and they're glowing quite nicely out there. I won't have long until they melt. Let's try it. It's just a rough zero with pellets I've not tested for accuracy off of a cushion. So let's see, that's 18 meters. Childish snigger. Yeah, that's not badly zeroed. I think I've got some here closer, but it's very warm out here. It's difficult to actually. Oh, there's one. Look. So he is at 8.6 meters. Was at 8.6 meters. So that's one at 18 and one at 8.6. I aimed exactly where the computer told me to. Now I can see one down there, but he's hidden. Or am I looking in the wrong place? Oh no, it's further back there. Right, so what we got there? Well, that's 25. 22. 22 meters with my cheap air pistol. Admittedly, with 1,500 quid worth of thermal gear on top of it, but still, computerized thermal gear at that. What we got? Is that one? Could be. 16. It's giving me a bit of hold under. Oh, well, I hit it. So it was definitely an ice cube. Let's see if we can find that one again. Tell him what for. Where'd he go? Oh, just in front of it. What we got here? What's that one? That one's 22 meters. It's dead. I think it must be a little stone in front of that other one. Any more out that way? They're melting quick. It is warm. Might need a little bit more focus there. Bring that in sharper. There we go. 23.6. Just to the side. It's a bit windy. I'm not going to say it's a bit windy. There is a breeze. These are only coming out under 400 feet a second, so you know, I guess that would have an effect. Do you know, I think they've all bloody melted. I said I had to be quick. I thought I could have had more time than that. What's that, 24 meters? Just in front. You can see where that one struck. But then again, I could be getting low on gases. That's another thing, putting it on CO2. So many variables. Yeah, that one dropped lower than the last one. I think I'm running low on CO2, and blaming the scope for that would seem unfair. So if I give it a little extra, it still went low again, didn't it? Right, I'm going to have to change the canister. Let's call that quits for now, but yeah, it's definitely working. And that's what I'm talking about. Take a cheap air pistol, let Crosman double the price of that by putting a few bits of bling on it, then add 10 times to the cost of it with a frankly amazing piece of technology. I think you will agree. It's, words fail me. It's a thermal scope with such detail that it could be used during the day. Maybe not for everything, not, you know, not for target shooting, things like that, but wow, just wow. And the accuracy of this little pistol, that reticule thing, that ballistic programming inside of this, that's witchcraft. It's an exciting new world, one that I'm just discovering, and I'm looking forward to playing with these over the next few weeks. So like, subscribe, hit notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.